close your eyes and think of the Middle Ages. Feudal chivalry, lack of women's rights, cathedral, plague ridden, peasant jousting. These are all pretty cool, right? So why don't we travel back in time and, pay them a little bit of a visit? So this is why no one wants to go back to the Middle Ages, except probably that old creepy guy who stares a little bit too long at little girls. That'd make you my wife. The Middle Ages is like your backstabbing friend from the 9th grade. Quirky, but would also throw you under the bus without any hesitation. You need to look out for the corners that you least expect, because some 13-year-old snobby drooling boy found a glitch and is waiting for your tippy toes to step on it. Always keep your guard up in the Middle Ages, just like how you would with that friend from 9th grade. And maybe whenever you also play Siege. The Middle Ages were rancid, dirty, and literally breeding grounds for diseases. You were born with the hardest difficulty ever. However, before I make you put your food away and keep you up at night with these horror stories, I need to prepare you with a quick little history lesson. The Middle Ages were from 500 to 1500 AD, so a really long time ago for a really long time, got it? And it is known for, and I quote, economic and territorial expansion, which is just really nice words for wars. That's probably why the Middle Ages nickname is literally the Dark Ages. Let's start off strong with the lack of germ theory, which led to absolutely disgusting practices. So if you're eating, maybe just put that food away. Sewers didn't exist, which is probably your 3 least favorite words put together. Instead, you do your business in a chamber pot, and your brat of a little sibling would empty it. Or maybe a slave. Now, you'd think that these chamber full of poop would be, discarded somewhere far away in a place no one visits, like Utah, down the street, maybe in a designated area. But no, it'll be right next to your house. Is this far away yet? What are we, animals? Yeah, no, that's perfect. What would you find more entertaining? A kid from the Middle Ages discovering TikTok or a toilet? Now, I feel like I don't really need to explain why shitting right next to your house without proper disposal is a bad idea, but just in case you need a reminder, it's unsanitary and contaminates your water. You know that saying, I'd rather shit in my hands than clap? They took that a little bit too far. Well, not far, I guess too literally, because they didn't really shit really far. So now that your water's contaminated, you can look forward to contracting all sorts of diseases and infection that you can't visit a doctor for because you're most likely poor. So you had to rely on folk healers who used herbs and other remedies. Oh, and barbers. Yeah, so you could rock up to your barbers who did some surgeries, which, fun fact, you know that barber pole outside the barber shops? The red and white stripes one? Yeah, that represents the blood and bandages associated with surgical practices, so the more you know. Baths were only done a few times a year, so imagine how gross boinging was. Maybe that's why ladies would wear layers and layers of clothing to protect you from smelling their coochie. Washing your hands was also rare, and so was cleaning things such as dishes, clothes, living space, and surgical instruments. Surgeons would literally reuse the same instrument on multiple patients, so people who had to get a colonoscopy, they didn't really have a fun time with that. Now, if you think this is bad, get ready for medical practices, because it's worse. Bloodletting, which is as horrifying as it sounds, was a common treatment for many illnesses. This involved draining blood from the body to restore balance and health. Another common practice was using leeches. Yeah, to suck out quote-unquote bad blood, not like the song. Believed to be a cure for various illnesses. Imagine a leech down there doing their thing. Reminds me of that coconut Reddit story. Sounds good in practice until you try it. Do you want to find out what a lack of blood does to your health? You'd be weak, leading you to contract more diseases and illnesses, fainting, dizziness, shock, and death. Yeah, you could just die. Doctor, I just turned 15, and my wife just died from childbirth. And my son, who was 1, he's already on his deathbed. I'm a peasant, and my life will amount to nothing at the end. I can't pay the bills, I stink. I think I'm depressed. Yeah, we're gonna drill a hole in your skull. Trepanation is just, I just explained it. A hole in the skull to release the quote-unquote evil spirits. Now, you didn't have to have a mental illness to get this unique procedure. You could literally just have a headache. So, these drills were made of flint and metal, and you didn't get anesthesia or, pain medicine. Don't be funny. So, you can imagine how painful that would have been, which is kind of like what you expect from a surgeon is reusing the same instruments and also shitting right next to his house. You had to be extremely lucky to survive this. Actually, I guess you could say you have to be extremely unlucky, because if you did, then you'd have infection, bleeding, brain damage, and you'd probably die too. So, do you think that you would survive the Middle Ages? Why don't you comment down below? Why don't you just close your eyes and just comment down below? You don't even have to, it doesn't have to be related to you could just comment down below, okay? It boosts the video up. I'm not gonna spend the next minute waffling why you should like and subscribe and comment down below. You should like and subscribe and comment down below.